Jack Story, welcome. Thanks so much for being here.
Yes, ma'am. Pleasure to be here.
Well, let's start with the obvious. You missed your own graduation for this tournament. Walk me through how that decision actually happened. Was it an easy decision, a no-brainer, or did you have to weigh it a little bit?
Well, so originally you have to qualify through a regional, and so I got one of the regional. I never really expect to qualify. Well, I guess obviously I did, and then when I figured out the day for the All American was on the same day of graduation, the teachers weren't like they didn't really. I'm not gonna say they cared that much. The headmaster and like everybody else wasn't exactly thrilled with it. I feel like they handled it about as well as they could have and understood, but I mean, it was like one of those things where like I was going fishing and they could either be accommodative or not, and thankfully they were very helpful with it, but yeah.
Did anyone try to talk you out of it?
One of my teachers was kind of I'm not gonna say like talking me out of it, but like kind of hinting that I should be at graduation, but it just wasn't even an option, so.
Well, I want to talk about the tournament itself, but take me to that actual moment, day three, the final weigh-in. You realized you've won $100,000. What's going through your head?
I mean, it was so stressful during the tournament that I think it was like huge relief, but it was also like I didn't even know what to do. Like it was crazy. Like the feeling of like accomplishment just doesn't even like register. Like looking back on it doesn't feel real. I mean, it's the best way to put it. I remember putting my hands up in there and like I was super excited, but I don't even know the words to describe it. It was just like it didn't feel real is the best way to put it.
You feel like you kind of blacked out a little bit?
I mean, yeah. Yeah, it's a great way to put it.
Your dad has history with this exact tournament. I read he fished the All-American himself years back and he finished 34th. Did you
Hmm.
go into this with the goal of beating him?
I mean, that was, yeah, I thought that was going to be pretty easy given the lake it was on. I mean, it's only 50 people, so it's like, it's hard to qualify for. But the advantage was, I mean, I felt like I could. He was on a river, but so it's a little bit different.
Mhm.
But 34th wasn't like, that was one of the goals, but I really wanted to make. So if you beat the other two people from your regional, you make the tackle or the Toyota Series championship. And that was what I really wanted to do was just make another tournament and just keep going up. And I ended up, I guess, making the REDCREST and the Toyota Series championship. So big bonus. But
Yeah. I read that your dad told you something like, whatever you do, you've got to dedicate yourself to it. So you
yeah.
might as well go all in. It sounds like you really took that advice to heart.
Yeah, that's always been his thing. Like if I want to skip school to go fish, I'm at least gonna actually like gonna for school I might not have to wake up at 8, 9, whatever. Like I can get to school at like noon some days and go for a couple hours. But his thing was, if you're gonna fish, you're gonna fish all day. Like, I guess just dedicate yourself to it.
Well, let's get into the actual tournament. What were you seeing out there on Lake Murray? Were you feeling good from the get-go?
Well, so the first day of practice, mm, it was pretty good. I had a lot more than I had any of the days in the tournament. The weather was really good, so it was a little bit different. But the fish also weren't as pressured yet. So like you could pull up and they were kind of easier to catch. So I thought it was gonna be really good, but I didn't really know. So I went up and tried to find some different stuff up the lake. I caught a big one on a frog in practice, but it just wasn't going on. So then I started like looking for bedfish. So the rest of the practice, the next 2 days, I just was looking for bedfish most of the time. When it was sunny and I could see I was looking for bedfish. Sorry about that. My phone's been glitching really. I don't know why that happens. It like makes this weird sound whenever it was my
Technology,
granddad.
man. I feel you.
Well, yeah, and my granddad's been calling me trying to figure out this. We're about to head up to, I'm going to Champlain with him. to fish in a tournament. So he's kind of tagging along. Figured that'd
Okay.
be a fun, really fun thing to have your granddad with you. Drive
Yeah.
18 hours, I might as well take him. Um, but yeah, it was kind of, I knew I could catch him fluke fishing, especially, well, it called for a lot more clouds and rain than actually happened. And I guess one of the things that almost bit me was trusting the weatherman. But the first 2 days I turned my scope on really early. And it like helped. The first day I caught most of my weight early and I left them and I just didn't catch any more of them. The second day I went back to them. I caught two of my weigh-in fish, maybe three with scope, but it wasn't gonna be enough. And then they came up schooling on this place and I remember missing pretty bad. And by the time I'd reeled that cast in, they were already done and I was like kind of frustrated because they were big, but I casted like way over to the left because the direction they were going was left. I caught it was right under six, but that was what did it that day. And then day three was, I waited to turn my scope on because I thought it was going to get windy and cloudy in the middle of the day because that's what they said. And I ran up the lake. So I get to this place. I ran like 15 minutes away from where my best place was that I started scoping on.
Mhm.
And I look up and it's sunny. I was like, what the heck? Like it's supposed to be getting cloudy. And so I was like, that's not gonna work. So I ran straight back down. I didn't fish. I just ran 15 minutes up, 15 minutes down. Camera boats are like, what's going on? I'm going. Like y'all can either follow me. I don't know what y'all want to do, but I'm going. My co-angler didn't know what was going on. And then I got down there, I turned my scope on. And I was able to kind of like salvage out enough where it was gonna be possible. And then it was sunny, and I knew the fluke fish that I had, they were never gonna bite. Like,
Mm.
especially after 2 days of hitting them that hard. So I went to the bed fishing, and then that worked out. That's what won it. But it was kind of a roller coaster. That's why on stage it was like so stressful. The final day was like way more stressful than I thought it was gonna be.
I mean, Brooks Anderson made a serious run at you that final
Yeah,
day. It came down to 10 ounces, I think.
yeah.
Did you know
Well,
it was that close, like while you were still
I
out there?
I knew it was gonna be close, but I was gonna be really frustrated if I lost by because I ended up with like a pound in penalties because I had some my live wells broke on the so my recirc pump broke on day two, and so some of my fish had some hard time, and that was some penalty for that. And then day three they were still broken, and my oxygen tank ran out. But most of them made it, but it was still I got like a pound, a little over I think like a pound in penalties. So I was like really stressed out about the fact that I could lose that because of penalties, and I'd rather lose by 10 pounds than lose by any sort of penalty.
What you're telling me is that this was not a smooth victory.
No, no, very far from. I was thinking I was gonna like I thought it would take more to win. Like I wasn't expecting to be leading day one, and I definitely wasn't expecting to lead day two.
Mm.
But the fishing, I guess the elite event had them like it was really. Usually when they're lined up on that lake, it's not that hard to catch them. I think it was a combination of all the pressure they've been getting. But usually that lake's really, really fun. Like you see a lot bigger bags, and they were. I'm gonna say they were just sluggish. Like you'd throw over them and they wouldn't really move most of the time. And if they schooled, you could catch them, but they didn't really school much for me most of the
You
time.
you broke a record that stood for 15 years, set by Jacob
Yeah.
Wheeler, one of the biggest names in the sport. Jack, does that feel real to you yet?
I mean, if you'd have told me that, I honestly wish I would have figured that out after rather than the night on day two. Somebody texted me that I was like, dude, like that is not what I needed to like makes it more stressful because that's instantly that became my goal because that's like somebody I've always like that's just who most fishermen look at like he's unbelievable and Yeah, to break that record is very crazy.
Well, you're
Surreal.
competing, yeah, you're competing against guys who have been fishing this event longer than you've been
Yeah.
alive. Like, is that intimidating or does it motivate you?
Um, on a lake. Depends on the lake, on Lake Murray. I mean, I hadn't been there much, but the actual like how the fish act is I like it a lot, and it's very close to like what I do mainly at home.
Mhm.
And like I was sitting with people at the table, like this table in particular that like at the dinner, people like a lot of older people and a lot of people that were like been there a bunch of times and like yeah, it's a different experience. It's really cool. Most of the people I fish against around home, I feel like that compete heavily are younger. Like my buddies Hayden, Cooper, they win a lot. Lane, like there are countless of them, but they're all like a lot of the biggest competition on Lanier are young. I mean, they're professionals that come home every now and then, like Emil, Paul, Marks, and Emil Wagner. But that's kind of been like a mentor for me. Like Emil's the one who kind of taught me how to fish with my dad. I'd say both of them about hand in hand. But it's just like it's cool, like having a younger group of guys, and then you go travel, and it's like mostly older guys at that tournament.
Well, I know that you've been fishing for a long time now, but this is obviously a huge win for you. Has your life changed at all since it happened?
Mm, it was like it's been a lot of like different stuff, like podcasts, whatever. But I went down to Seminole, and I had my worst high school tournament I've ever had by like I don't know in the last 2 years, my worst high school finish was I just look. I think it was sixth place though. So like somewhere in the regular season, I think it was well last year my worst finish was fourth. Um I can't remember, like extremely strong. And so like my last high school tournament, I mean looking back, like I wish I really would have put in more effort, but I wanted to be at a different tournament. And so I was kind of already like not like bitter, but like I didn't want to really be there.
You were throwing a
And
tantrum, weren't you, Jag?
no, I wasn't throwing a tantrum, but like I could have definitely practiced harder.
Yeah.
And I did find good places. I just didn't really, it didn't happen. I got like 40th. And like looking back on it, well, it gave me a lot of motivation to just go fish. When I lose, that's typically how it goes. The next couple of days, I'm out there daylight to dark. I hate losing and fishing, especially when it's to one of my friends. Like I can't. I got to get my get back if that makes sense. Like I want to go beat him again the next day,
You're competitive.
and yeah, I just want to fish and I want to win.
Yeah. Well, what have you been up to since then? I know you had a tournament this weekend. Is that right?
Yeah, so I went to Lake Chickamauga and I had like a day of practice. I wasn't expecting to do good. I really didn't do good, but it was just I wanted to go for the experience of like fishing different lakes.
Mhm.
And then before that, I had two tournaments on Hartwell one day. I got second in those, both of them. Me and Emil fished like a tournament in Lanier. We got fourth in. Um, can't think of much else. I went on a vacation. Besides that, it's been not much. I was gone for a long time, but when I got back, like yesterday, I fished all day. Day before that, like since I've been back, I've been fishing, but I did take a break from a lot of it for a minute.
Okay. Well, REDCREST 2027 is on the calendar now. What does prep look like for you
Mm,
for that?
I'll probably go over there when it gets. I think the tournament's in March. I'll probably go sometime in like November if I had to guess. I hadn't really read much. I think it's on limits in November. I think I'm pretty positive, but I get nervous about rules and stuff about talking because like my dad's a big fisherman and this time I've handled it better, but like Murray, he could say something like that was totally like not even about fishing, but I just envisioned like him saying something the next sentence about. I was like, dude, you just gotta like bear with me. Like, don't ask me how practice is going, because then it makes me want to ask you about things. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and he doesn't know anything about Lake Murray right now, so it's like there's nothing harmful about it. It's just like mentally. Emil's very similar. I don't think he's put me on the right track, but can't talk about fishing and the thought of a polygraph exam. It just whether I've done something right, wrong, whatever, it scares me to get hooked up to those wires. And I had to do it at Murray. And I mean, I knew I was gonna pass, but it was
Yeah.
just like it was scary. I don't know. Like they strap you into a chair and it's like got you hooked up to wires. I mean, who wouldn't be scared? I mean, for the first time, I think next time now that I know what to expect is great, but it just scared me a little bit getting strapped into a chair. I felt like it was an electric chair in a movie.
But I think that's something that a lot of people don't really know about, right? Is
Yeah.
that part of the
It's,
process? Can
yeah,
you
it's a
kind of
great thing.
explain, like walk people through what
Yeah.
that's like and why you have to do that?
I'm glad people have to do it. I like it's great, but you get I got in a chair and I sat down and I never done one, but they put like stuff on your hands, so, like you got like clips on your hands, and then you've got these things like that wrap around your like your chest. You've got you're hooked up to a computer with a bunch of wires, and I had to, I didn't have to retake it, but he kept saying like, if you'd move, you can like, you will have to redo it. And I'm like, I mean, I like to fish and I like to be outside, and I don't like to sit at a desk. And so sitting in a chair very still has always been very hard for me,
Mhm.
like a lot of people. Like I have a healthy amount of ADHD in me, and I do not like sitting at a chair. And I kept like looking over, like examining stuff in the room, and he'd be like, "Watch your movement," and I'd have to like bring myself back, and then I'd start like fidgeting with my hand, and like it was just fun. Like it was funny, but it's a really good thing for the sport too. I think more tournaments should incorporate them, especially for like information rules. Because, I mean, that's a sticky thing in tournaments, especially where like you gotta either, it's kind of confusing because you've got to either make it allowed to get it, or you gotta like make some sort of like rule to prevent it.
Yeah.
Because you can't have people, I mean, at the end of the day, Livescope, people, I know people hate on Livescope, but like it's no different than people who used to just go get crazy information from locals on the best places on a lake. Actually, even the playing field, in my opinion. But
Okay.
o- older people just don't like to adjust, I guess. But you don't see people like Jacob Wheeler or anybody else complaining about it. They just go do it. So I think that's the best way to be.
I mean, technology evolves. We see that in all sports, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think what MLF does with 3 hours, I do like that. I think it's cool.
Okay. Well, pursuing bass fishing has been your dream since you were a kid. It sounds like your dad's advice is to go all in if that's what you want. Does that mean fully committing to pro fishing, or do you have other plans?
I mean, I'm going to college. I just had this talk with Hunter Sales, but he's my gonna be my coach at Carson Newman. And I think I'm also gonna, I hadn't made this like any sort of official or anything, but I'm leaning towards fishing the Tackle Warehouse Invitationals. And I like the schedule a lot. It starts off on Murray, which should be cool.
Mhm.
And then I think we go to Clark's Hill at some point, which is one of my other favorite lakes. And it'd be good to, I think it'll be good. I'm excited to try to make it work. We were talking about how to make it work with college fishing, but if it can work, I'm gonna do it. Do both. Might as well.
Yeah. I mean, you're 18, you already have a ginormous win under your belt. What's your advice to kids who want to get into competitive fishing?
I don't know, cause like you gotta be persistent. Like my parents, my mom was never like. if I didn't have my dad, it would have been harder. But just being like, especially like showing like how real, like it's really realistic to go get a scholarship. Like, I don't think people really truly realize that you can go get a scholarship for fishing. And if you dedicate yourself to fish and you actually put in the constructive work to get there, I think it's easier than people make it seem. You just have to know how to do it. And that can be hard. And like, parents have no clue. I get that. But the biggest advice I could give would be like, educate them. Like, nobody knows what they're not told. And like, showing how it can work and how it's the best thing a parent can do. The amount of trouble that has gotten me like through, like I just go fish. Like I'm out of trouble because I fish. Like I mean, it keeps you out of trouble. You're doing something outdoors. It's good. It's like mostly peaceful until you get in a big tournament. But I didn't like anything else. Like I grew up playing baseball, football, soccer, like you name it. I played practically everything, and I never loved it the same. Like I just like going like fishing in a pond, fishing in a lake, wherever, a reservoir, like wherever it is, it doesn't really matter. I'll go, and that's just what I love, being outside.
It's good for your mental health too.
Very good. And to be honest, I think every like it's starting to take off more. Like I think more high schools are getting teams and like high schools in Atlanta are starting to get teams. So if Atlanta high schools are getting teams, then I know it's got to be happening more places because it's hard enough to find people in Atlanta
Yeah.
that fish.
Well, before we let you go,
hmm
anything coming up that you want people to know about, sponsors, new events, what should we be looking out for with you?
Mm, sponsors, Zoom. I don't have my hat on right now, but I wear a Zoom hat most of the time if you see me. I do a lot of like herring fishing, so I don't know. I hadn't started doing any sort of guiding yet. I'll take people if they want to go. I just I don't really see the point in like don't get me wrong. I'd love to make some money doing it, but I love to fish. And if anybody wants to go fishing, like listen, it gets to the point where I can't take everybody, but I've been trying to take people and it's really fun. I really enjoy especially like taking the younger generations fishing and like that's something I'm heavily invested in, like convincing parents to get boats. Like I've been doing that where I can and like I don't know, I think every kid deserves the opportunity to fish. And that's that.
Well, Jack Story, man of the people, 18 years
Mhm.
old, missed his high school graduation, turned out to be a pretty good call. Congrats on the win, man. We'll be following you.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.